and welcome to the Common Briefing Program. We're a part of the Geeking Program, where each month we try to recap geek news that we find interesting, important, and highlight the stories that are definitely worth your attention. I am Colin. I tend to host these affairs, and I am joined by three people. Fight for it.
Hi, I'm Jeff. I forgot there's really nothing we say anything else anymore. This is not even a sentence that's coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, you're really getting in your head about this one.
Order. So I guess
it's a very simple
intro.
affair. Hello, say your name. Too much for Jeff. All right, Jeff, you can take a seat. Who's next?
Well, at least I fucking said anything.
I want to go last, simply. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go next then.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jocelyn. I don't know what else you want me to say.
There's only one more of us. Jesus Christ.
Hi, I'm Timel or Chowder, whichever you prefer. We're doing a little news program for Geek News here.
Well, that couldn't have gone much worse.
And apparently this is the first time that any of the four of us have ever recorded a podcast.
I'm glad to be braving this new territory with people who are equally unprepared.
It's been a minute, okay? I also wasn't planning on being here today. Let's be real.
No, you did just show up. I was like, all right, let's wait for Chowder, and then Jocelyn appears. So, I mean, it's still a lovely surprise to have four of us today. However, I think that our news reporting is going to be a little less heavy-hitting this month, not for lack of trying, but I will sort of sum up the vibe of Geek News in May as being kind of light, kind of not
fucking
exciting.
Stupid, I would say.
Yeah.
I would say
Pretty fucking stupid.
more than half of our stories that we have lifted here are just incredibly stupid.
Yeah. So usually we all come to the table with like a particular story or set of stories that we feel really strongly about. Not trying to spoil our ratings section here, but none of us had a big heavy-hitting thing we wanted to bring to the table. So we do have a compiled list of things that we all suggested to each other, and we're just going to kind of go through that list and try to have a little more free-form discussion than we usually have as we break down the most important headlines from a not super-duper important month when it comes to geek news. Before we dive in, though, vibe check. How y'all doing today?
Distracted. I'm trying to open up tabs for all the things I wanted to talk. Some of the things I wanted to talk about. So
I feel like the way that we all introduced ourselves in this episode was pretty indicative of the general vibe here.
Yeah. It's been a long week, and it's just about to get worse today for me, so it's great. Everything's great.
I sort of woke up this morning not congested necessarily, but just you know when you're not you don't have a stuffy nose or anything like that, but you just sort of have this feeling like there just is a lot of mucus just kind of going through your system. Man. That's sort of where I'm at right now.
What's annoying? I mean, Discord's not letting me open up any of the Twitter link, and that's annoying.
Oh no.
Yeah, so well, this is the energy we're bringing to the table. I don't know. I'm kind of with you guys. Yesterday, I was my day job can be a little slow in the morning, so I was I'm going to try to finish up this Dice Populi edit. We had a problem with the recording. Chowder graciously re-recorded some stuff for me, and I was ready to go splice it all in. And then it turns out either I deleted it or it got deleted, but all the sound effects work I did disappeared. And right when I realized that was a problem, something went wrong at work, and we got literally 200 calls from a company I've never worked with before. Yesterday just sort of set my mood for the week kind of down a bad path. But
I will say there have been some eventful things that happened, which I will talk about when we get to my turn. We'll
get right to it. I will say though, I did decide to go through the MCU again this past month. That was a fun little project. It's been a good time to just watch movies I haven't watched in years. And Destiny is getting really good, despite some stuff I said in our most recent episode. It's getting amazingly good. So I feel like I'm bouncing back a bit. The weather hasn't been great, but I'm bouncing back, and I think I'm the only one bouncing back.
It hasn't.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It's nice out here.
Wait, Jeff, are you even where are you right now? I don't know where you are.
I'm in Long Beach, California.
Okay. I did not know that. I didn't know when you left New York. I can't keep track of your whereabouts anymore.
Yeah.
Jeff cut me off from his Find My Friends, and now I don't feel like I know him at all. That's the real sadness.
Forgot
All
about
right.
fun, my friend.
All right, I seem to be unable to lift the mood, so let's just get right into the news. Okay, so looking at the top of the list, and I'm not going to break this up into individuals here, but as we go down our shared list,
I posted
I was
like
going to
the
say
first thing of the news thing.
Yeah,
after
so the first
Elden Ring thing.
the first oh yes, Austin complained about Elden Ring because now it's probably going to get delayed again. Of course, Elden Ring is going to get delayed again.
Yeah.
But then Jocelyn, what you hit us with?
So there's gonna be a K-pop reality K-pop reality television show. Actually, 3 of them. But this one is gonna be made by the guy who does like Survivor and stuff. And it's dumb. We don't need more. We don't need American
What
K-pop.
the fuck?
It's just a mess. Well, so
Wait. Okay,
How
go
can
ahead.
it be
Sorry.
American K-pop? Isn't that just A-pop?
Exactly.
Yeah,
So-
this all sounds dumb.
There's BTS and their company is making a show, but this isn't the one I'm talking about. This is one by a group called SM Entertainment. They have this one K-pop group that is 23 members, and they're about to add more to it.
Oof.
Because this competition show is going to make an American geared aimed branch of that K-pop group, and it's going to be a competition show to see who gets on it, and it's just I think it's going to end up being 7
So this isn't
American
even
people.
like this isn't even like an American Idol style competition to get a contract. It's, hey, do you want to be in our band?
It's kind of like American Idol, except they're going to be... It's actually kind of like The Voice. They're going to be sending all of the contestants to Korea to learn how to become K-pop idols in, like, the rigorous training programs that Americans never would want to do to be an idol and be very restricted as a musician. And it's just, it doesn't make sense why all of these companies are doing this because, like, they don't need it.
Yeah,
they don't need the American audiences.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
That seems like it could be a fun prize for people in theory, but in practice, it just wouldn't be good for anyone.
That'd be like saying, hey, do you want to go on Wheel of Fortune and get to go to boot camp if you win? Like, that doesn't quite... That'd be a weird spot on the wheel.
You get to go to boot camp to participate, not even to win.
What?
Lord.
God,
Yeah, 'cause
this is making
yeah.
less sense to me the more you talk about it.
It's so bad. It's literally like...
I think, and I mean, you are pretty much the only source of cultural context in my life for what K-pop is.
Yes.
But in the United States, like, K-pop is going through kind of a boom. There's always been like
It
a
is.
cult
Yeah.
following in the US, but there's some mainstream folks. I know BTS is broken out. Is this just like people trying to chase that high?
Yeah, no, K-pop is
Yes.
going through what anime went through in the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah. pretty much.
And what the Beatles... It's like the British Mania, but Korea, basically, is what's happening right now with K-pop. Is Beatlemania.
Well, it went great for everybody in the Beatles, so glad to see that happening again.
Exactly. Oh, God.
Yeah, but there's so many more people in BTS that it doesn't really, affect
Yeah.
the band as
no,
much of one.
If one person-
don't do
if
this,
one person
Jeff.
leaves
Don't
the
say
band,
that.
It's
Don't-
not quite as
Don't say
destructive.
this, Jeff. I don't need Army coming after you guys
Oh, Lord.
for not being
Well,
OT7.
Is there a name for the show? Like, is there
They
anything
haven't.
like that? Because I'm not seeing that.
They basically just said, hey, this is going to exist, which they've kind of done for the other 2 shows as well. But this is the first time they've actually connected with a American producer for it. And Mark Burnett is known very widely for all of his producing of like reality TV shows. So it is actually pretty incredible that they're working with someone so well known for the type of show that they're doing.
Okay.
Because like he did The Voice, Survivor, Shark Tank, all that kind of stuff.
I did watch an analysis a while ago that, like, if you actually look at the winners of The Voice and what they get, it really does not help their careers at
No,
all.
it
Compared to
does not.
something like American Idol, like
Yeah.
the recording contract is not as big, the notoriety is not as much. So
Even with American
it's just
Idol,
more
you,
so,
you don't,
like-
you actually don't want to end up winning it because you get
You get
typecasted
stuck in a very
into a certain thing.
really bad
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah.
But like the thing
Also,
with
like,
this,
people like an underdog story, so they're probably going to be more supportive of, like, the runner-up rather than the, the person who actually won it in a lot of cases.
The bigger issue for this show for like the K-pop fans, because like it'll be what it is for whatever people listen. Like if people actually tune into it, like it's not gonna mean much for like.
So how about I take the call?
It's not gonna mean much for like people who aren't already K-pop fans, really.
Yeah.
But the problem is for this specific group that they're adding to, there's already 23 members. It has subunits, which is how they promote all of their music. There's like NCT 127, NCT Dream, and Wavy, and they all have different markets that they appeal to.
Also, like,
at least they're not brazen enough as like the Blue Man Group to pretend it's the same 3 people. At least they admit it's a bunch of different people.
But they have this issue right now where some of those members aren't getting utilized well enough. And like you have 23 members and you're not showing them enough. Why are you trying to add more to them when you can't handle the 23 you have?
But also, like, aren't all the members currently like people actually fucking from Korea?
No, not inherently. In fact, Wavy has a lot of members who are from China because that's where they are aimed at. Most of their songs are written in Mandarin. They also have 3 or 4 members, I think. I don't know all of NCT well enough.
I guess I'm just wondering,
3 of them are from America.
Wouldn't adding... Yeah, okay. There are already... Okay, I was wondering if there was already precedent for that. I was just thinking, like, America of all places, I feel like adding to a K-pop band would kind of cheapen it.
Man,
but
K-pop just confuses me.
That's what the K stands for.
Is Konfusion?
Confusing with a K.
That's the thing though, is with K-pop is that like usually they take people with Korean descent from other countries.
Right.
So like the members of NCT that they currently
people who
have,
are at least
like
Korean.
Johnny and Mark, they're from like Chicago, but they're still Korean American.
Okay.
This is the first
So
time they'll
in
be
this show,
wait.
anyone could do it.
You're telling me there's a chance that John Cho could be a member of this band?
I mean, if he auditioned and wanted to be.
He's John Cho. He could get whatever he wants.
But
that's
I don't think it would benefit his career.
But are you telling me that Colin Ketchen could fucking join this band if he gets on this game show and wins?
That's what the K stands for.
Literally, Colin could audition. Chowder could audition.
Watch
not
out,
Jeff.
world.
Not me.
Actually, wait.
Physically can't.
Colin can't. He's too old. They have to be between ages of 13 and 25.
I'm 25.
Chowder,
so
you might barely.
so are we.
I'm out.
Why did you just single out Colin? You know we're all older than 25, don't you, Jocelyn?
It took me a second, okay?
We got there. It's
Chowder
okay.
and I are both older than you are, so...
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move us forward a bit from this confusing mess to something just straight up depressing and also kind of insane. So I think in February we talked a bit about. Before that, we talked a little bit. I know we're looking at the same list. Don't lie to me. So we talked in February a bit about sort of the revelations about just how much of an asshole Joss Whedon allegedly has been over the decades of his career. And I remember saying something about, like, you know, it really sucks that Ray Fisher from Justice League was the only one speaking out, and if he was telling the truth, that everyone else was leaving him to hang out to dry. And we got a quote from Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot. I say Gadot. Which is it? It's Gadot.
I've heard it both ways, but...
So here's the quote regarding Joss Whedon from the actress who plays Wonder Woman. He kind of threatened my career and said if I did something, he would make my career miserable, and I just took care of it instead.
Woof.
Which is vague, scary, weird, maybe badass, but probably terrible. So that's just the next step in that saga as it develops. I remember having to break
the implication there is just like, what, Ray Fisher was being a whiny baby, and that if he had a problem with Joss Whedon, he should have just taken care of it? Is that the implication? Or
that's the thing. I feel like I can read it both ways, where it's like you could take it as she's throwing him under the bus, or you could take it as her trying to like side with him,
validate his story,
but not piss off the people that give her paychecks.
That's not how you word I stand with Ray Fisher. That's not how you
No, it's not, because she wants to keep getting paid.
It weirdly reminds me of the stuff going on with Venus Williams and Naomi Osaka in tennis, where Naomi dropped out because of like health reasons, but they tried to pressure her into doing interviews because it's in her contract, even though it's mentally taxing. And Venus Williams' response was just like, "Hey, I know that people ask me questions." I know I'm better than all of you, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
But also everyone handles it differently.
Yeah,
Right.
so it seemed like a very safe way for her to try to say something without pissing off the people that sign her paychecks, and it's like...
Yeah, she can piss people off in other ways.
I've been made aware. So yeah, that's all I have there. Next up, Jeff or Chowder, I'm gonna let you guys take the reins on this one.
I mean, I was the one who posted it, but I fucking actually have not seen Venom 1, so...
Okay, I'll talk about Venom.
There it
2
is.
then.
Knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah. So Venom 2 has been announced. Let me find Jeff's little post here.
They just made a trailer.
Yeah, a trailer
isn't
came out. It's hard to really pin down what this movie's gonna be like, but you know what? It's fine because the trailer opened with the Venom symbiote making Tom Hardy breakfast, and that is what we're living for.
Yeah.
Just if they
This
double
movie
down on
is
the
for a niche.
if they double down on the monster romantic comedy, we good.
Yeah. I think I
If
agree
they
with
do
you, 'cause
anything else, I write.
Yes, I did not enjoy the first Venom movie. And the conversation I had with everyone regarding the first Venom movie was people saying, I really liked Venom. And I'm like, did you like the movie or did you like, the symbiote and Eddie Brock's dynamic and the rest of the movie was trash?
The first
and then they
movie
were
was
like,
terrible.
The
first movie
It's
was
terrible,
terrible,
but I love them.
But exactly.
Yes,
It's
that
just
dynamic
like,
is great. And the trailer did offer up a lot of that. Carnage looks kind of like a scary villain. Woody Harrelson doesn't have the Little Orphan Annie wig anymore, which is nice. It was such a terrible wig in the post credits of the first film. But I think the question I'm asking is,
would it be that terrible if we didn't know what Woody Harrelson looked like, though? Like, I feel like it was just like such a, you don't expect fucking to see Woody Harrelson with fucking curly red hair, so it was just like, oh, that's a wig.
I don't know,
but
I recently watched Cheers, so I was used to seeing Woody Harrelson with hair, but that's just kind of my own temporal issue. I don't know. The question that this trailer does seem to answer is, yes, we're going to focus more on this dynamic. The question that it doesn't answer is, are they trying to make Venom a good guy? Like a straight, like the first movie clearly makes him out to be bad.
Well, in the comics,
Like
he like becomes an anti-hero after like he got popular. So like,
yeah,
but
and
how
I feel like
often
all
is
the
it-
part of him being a villain is kind of irrelevant when we don't have, Spider-Man.
But
in
that's
the goddamn
the thing, is
fucking Sony Spider-Man villain cinematic universe that they're trying to fucking create. Like
The
it's
Sony
like
universe
they're
of
trying
Marvel
to make a
characters.
goddamn Kraven the Hunter movie, and it's just
like why?
Who cares?
Like,
Kraven is a
the
popular Spider-Man villain, but like,
Yeah.
there's no Spider-Man, so you just have a
And, like,
movie
that was
about a dude
kinda
who kills animals for the thrill.
Yeah, it's like, okay. It's just like, he's kind of a one-note villain. I don't know why they're fucking making a...
To paraphrase a
Whatever.
recent Spider-Man movie, if you're nothing without the Spider-Man, then you shouldn't have it. And that's my attitude toward all these movies.
Yeah, pretty much.
A Kraven movie was announced starring Aaron Taylor Johnson, and we got a trailer for Venom 2. We'll see how all that goes, I guess.
To transition to some other superhero-related stuff, there's a new Superman animated series announced for HBO Max. It follows Clark Kent and Lois Lane as young adults. It's called My Adventures with Superman, and it's everything I want out of Superman. I want good boy Superman. I want himbo Superman. Is that too much to ask?
Hopefully we actually get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, hopefully we actually get it, considering AT&T is doing this weird merger with...
Yeah, that merger is ruining everything. Like,
No. AT&T is ruining everything, and I'm glad that they're at least selling off Warner, because they didn't know what they were doing.
How long did they own it? They haven't owned it for that long, have they?
They're selling off
A year and a half?
Yeah.
What?
They're selling it off to do another crazy big merger between, like, a bunch of other... I don't even remember the companies. Do we have that somewhere in the list?
I don't get it. What?
I feel like we
think so.
have
I
to.
don't
Literally,
I feel like you
AT&T
would have had a plan if you bought Warner Bros.
AT&T never really had a plan when they bought Warner Media with stuff, like, can confirm.
Oh my god.
But, like, they really just messed up a lot of their programming, specifically in the animated department, which is why every time I hear anything for animation from Warner Media, I take it with a grain of salt, because you don't know if it'll see the light of day.
It still breaks my heart that Infinity Train got fucked the way it did. Apparently there was it definitely wasn't the only one, but that's the one that comes to my mind. According to Owen Dennis, the creator, there was plans for a Infinity Train art book that the merger just fucked over, and that's just
woof.
Anyways, this cartoon, this Superman cartoon, it looks
hopefully
cute.
we get it.
Hopefully we get it. Yeah. I really want it. Yes.
Because I feel like we could actually, I feel like it's been a while since we've actually got a Superman like cartoon show. You know what I mean?
So yeah, I'm looking at some of the details of this. So telecom giant AT&T announced earlier this month deal to combine its content unit Warner Media with Discovery. So that'll include Discovery Channel, HGTV, and all of their other subsidiaries with, and I think like CNN with all the other things already a part of both of those companies. It doesn't even look like AT&T is selling them off, just that they are facilitating this new merger. They're going to make it its own separate company, probably still under the AT&T umbrella. So fuck all knows what they're doing.
I just
still
hate it all.
I hate everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? What else?
Works for them anymore, so I can say it.
Well, speaking of hatred and Warner Brothers, let's talk about CW. Let's talk about that leaked Powerpuff Girls script real quick.
Oh
fuck! You want to take
God.
roles and read it? I would love to do that.
Yes,
not all of it, but some of it.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Where is that even in here?
That's a good idea. Hold on. Okay, I found them. Dibs on I never watched Powerpuff Girls. Which one's which? Shit. Buttercup's green. Bubbles is blue. Buttercup's
Blossom is pink.
Blossom is
right.
pink. Okay.
You were right.
Wait, where do I find this? Okay.
It's just a little further down in our chat. We have a lot of screenshots. I'm gonna make you three my Powerpuff Girls. Chowder, you're Blossom. Sorry, Chowder, you're Buttercup. Jeff, you're Blossom. Jocelyn, you're Bubbles. I'll be everyone else.
I need to find this first. Hold on.
I'm upset that you made me Bubbles, but it's fine.
Who else do you want to be? I pull with the casting agent.
No, I want to be Bubbles. I'm just upset that you knew I wanted to be Bubbles essentially.
Yeah, I am curious about your decisions there. Not that I disagree necessarily, but...
I will say, here's what's happened. Chowder is the only one without an icon, so he has the default Discord thing, and it's green. So my brain went green, Buttercup, Chowder, and I didn't watch Powerpuff Girls, so the other two were arbitrary.
I have blue hair right now, so I'm...
You haven't watched the original? It's a Gendy Tardiovsky... Wow, I can't never pronounce his name, but it's a great cartoon. You should check it out.
Yeah,
it's
Greg McCracken, Gendy Tarkovsky, something Russian.
Jeff, are you still having trouble finding this?
Samurai Jack and Dexter's Lab and...
It's on
I didn't watch either of those either.
You didn't? Oh my god. Colin, are you a fucking Gendy virgin?
Like, kinda, yeah.
Damn.
I'm aware of the art style in the shores, but no, I never watched any of them. I did not like Dexter's Lab whenever I watched it. I know that much.
Well, anyways, let's do
some
reading.
Are we ready?
Oh, I found it. Okay. Yeah. I'm ready. Are we starting from the top here?
Yeah, let's go with the first one. Okay, so I know that we've been rambling for a bit. Listeners, there was a Powerpuff Girls pilot produced for the network, the CW.
Live action. That's very important.
Live action show. We have pictures of the character for the characters that you can look up as well. But apparently the pilot was not what they were looking for, so they're redoing it with a lot of the same cast and staff and crew. And there are some leaked excerpts from the script. I don't know if these are confirmed, but they are so wild, and we are going to...
It really does read like a bad fanfic. So.
Yeah, it's so bad.
So we have Jocelyn playing Bubbles, Jeff playing Blossom, and Chowder playing Buttercup.
I don't even have any lines.
Are you going to be Drake then?
Is Drake in this?
There are excerpts of people with different names other than the main trio, just so you know.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So we'll have to figure that out. I can start with the first.
I think Drake's supposed to be Professor Utonium.
I've got no goddamn lines.
Hey, you're welcome, Jeff, I guess.
That's because your character is very dejected and doesn't want to do anything anymore because you hated how you were raised. Yeah.
Weird.
Apparently. That's the that's the vibe here. All right, Jocelyn, start us off.
Yeah, so here's a quick exchange between Bubbles and Buttercup from the upcoming CW Powerpuff Girls show.
Blossom's fine. I saw on her Insta that she has a boyfriend. I saw on her LinkedIn that she got promoted. And I saw on Facebook that she still talks to Grandpa despite their political differences.
Coming back here is probably triggering for her.
Why? Because she's the one who killed Mojo? I mean, moveon.org.
What is the attempt of moveon.org as a piece of slang? What are they trying to capture?
I think it's supposed to be like moveon.com.
Especially because moveon.com fucking rhymes.
Yeah.
Right? Like if
yeah, but
like,
here's the thing.
Like,
that's the
like,
thing people said
kind of
20
trendy,
years
like,
ago.
Oh, you're the bomb.com or something like that. But moveon.org makes no fucking sense.
So
Unless
sad.
Also, what a horrible thing to say to someone after they've killed somebody. Just moveon.org. Who cares that she killed somebody? That couldn't possibly be traumatizing.
It's been years, Jeff. She should be over it by now.
Of course.
Okay, all right,
okay.
let's scroll down a bit. We're only going to do a couple here for the sake of time. Jeff, let's look at the one that's an exchange between Clive and Blossom.
Let me just read this one right here because it's particularly stupid to me.
Oh, just the one line? Yeah, go for it.
Bloss, wake up, or we'll leak your nudes everywhere. In parentheses, off Bubbles' confusion.
It was confusion.
That worked on you once.
God.
That's so horrible. That's not even a good. That's not even a good joke.
No,
Buttercup's the villain.
Aren't these characters in high school, right? In this supposed live action?
Yes.
So,
But
what
why
the
are you
fuck?
like casually conversationally leveraging this?
Also, I'm just gonna say, fucking, if they don't take these characters and edit out all of their fingers and just have them have like nub arms for CGI, there's no way in hell that I'm watching this show.
Oh no, Jeff.
So one last little excerpt here, if you don't mind. The
Clive,
exchange between
Babe.
Yeah, between Clive and
One you're
Blossom.
talking about? Okay, yeah, go for it.
Where's
All right.
Oh, I see.
Babe, you had a messed up childhood that culminated in an traumatic event. It's like your therapist says you needed to go out and make your own way in the world for the sake of your mental health.
I hope I don't have a panic attack while I'm there.
If you do freak out, just do that exercise Dr. Pat taught you.
Right. Visualize my inner child.
And that is the pathos we can expect from this very
but see,
deep
now
character
that
study.
one has a legitimate typo. I feel like this
Yes.
must be...
Yes, it does. So...
To be
I
fair,
mean,
that,
we're not
that
gonna-
happens. That's not a big, like...
That's
I've
fair.
gotten scripts that have minor typos like that. That's fine.
Yeah.
That does not invalidate this at all.
Even so,
in terms of being a legitimate script.
Even the least outrageous excerpt is just thoroughly uninteresting.
Can we scroll down to the one that starts with Blossom, aren't we here to investigate?
Yeah, go for it. You just want more lines. I know what you're angling for.
I do, but I saw a line that I really want to say. So
yep.
It's me and Buttercup,
Okay.
Chowder, so tell me when you're ready.
Okay.
You see this one?
Yeah, I see it.
Aren't we here to investigate?
I'm here to pick up bi-curious townies. You're here to avoid Drake. Bubbles is here to investigate, but she forgot Butch hates her. Luckily, we're dealing with another hate boner, so alcohol helps.
Why do you know so much about hate boners?
Life is one big hate boner.
I'm so mad that iTunes won't let me make that the title of the episode. Anyways,
God.
again, I still don't think we have confirmation about whether or not this is leaked or real, but needless to say...
But
it had to be taken down because there was a copyright...
Yeah, it had to be taken...
No. So there was there is a copyright strike against the person who uploaded it, so they had to take it
that
down.
actually lends legitimacy.
Yeah, so... For those wondering why you haven't
Fair use,
gotten
fair
that...
use, fair use.
yeah, we do not own any of this. This show is still going to be made. Here's the thing: by the same writers.
Oh god!
By the same
No.
by the same writers of what? The original one?
People that wrote this script allegedly.
Oh! I thought you meant by
are
the same
being kept
writers
on.
of the original
And
Powerpuff Girls.
Listen, and I'm a Star Trek fan. I know, like, having a second pilot can
There it
breathe new
is.
life into it. Hey, Star Trek only exists because of its second pilot. Thank you, Lucille Ball. So, like, I understand that you got to go back and retool things when they don't quite work. But I don't know about you guys, but this goes a little beyond don't quite work, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Just a
I
little.
mean, just frankly, the whole fucking concept of Riverdale, but the Powerpuff Girls in live action is just kind of insulting, frankly. Like,
I just really, from the get-go, the whole we're jaded about how we were raised, when in the original cartoon they were really adorable and they actually really loved fighting crime, and their dad was the one who didn't want them to fight crime. Like, it's really shitty to have them turn it around and be like, no, he forced them to fight crime and now they hate him. It's like, what?
I'll tell you
No.
what.
it's
if
also
I
just
got
like, Powerpuff Girls, like, though is a classic cartoon, it's not like classic enough of like a universal type story to go back and like dissect it like this, you know? Like, if you want to create a show about these people who are forced to fight crime as kids, just fucking write something new, right? Like, why does it have to be the Powerpuff Girls? Because, like, just the idea of a live action, grittier, sexier Powerpuff Girls is just like inherently so stupid.
Honestly, that's probably why I didn't get into it as a kid. It just wasn't sexy enough for me.
Especially annoying with Powerpuff Girls, because like the original show was very much something that took advantage of the fact that it is a cartoon. Got like these very graphic illustrations, and by graphic I mean, you know, like sharp angle.
Adult, disturbing, sexual, grotesque.
No.
Well, sometimes I mean, like, actually not sexual, but the other three for sure.
Visually
Powerpuff Girls have fucking people's teeth
visually
flying out in
stylized
slow motion with like blood flying out of their head and shit, and it was a kid's show. So like,
yeah.
Like on an episodely basis, we would see Mojo Jojo's exposed brain from being beaten up so bad. So
I mean, it was a good show. It dealt with a lot of more adult themes in a nice, simpler way. And
I mean, it's just a classic, Gendy cartoon. It's just like a really nice, stylish, you know, stylized kind of thing. That's just a charming cartoon. That it being a cartoon is an inherent, essential part of its identity. So, like, doing a live action...
Our childhood being ruined. Let's jump to our childhood possibly a bit happier with the reboot of Hidden Temple. And I can't wait to sign Pat up for it.
I don't know anything about this show. I became aware of this show like a year and a half ago. Legends of the Hidden Temple apparently was like a competition show on Nickelodeon from like 20 years ago or 20, 25 years ago.
Yeah, it was like a kids competition show similar to like nowadays kind of like, I don't want to say Ninja Warrior, but it was like that and Wipeout. Like if you combine those two and make it for kids. There was like obstacle courses and stuff.
So was this the one with all the slime, or was that
No, that was a different show.
I think that's just Nickelodeon. I've never watched any of those. Brand. Yeah, so Pat got very angry at us for not being excited about this particular piece of news.
And I was very Jocelyn, excited. I didn't watch it a lot, but I've watched some of it more recently because my friend grew up watching it, and it's a really fun concept, especially because it was like for kids, and they really made sure it was like fun and cool, and like we got away with a lot as kids on TV channels and stuff. Like they would not be able to do this nowadays with like just the way child labor laws are and stuff, just because like competition shows are always aimed at adults for a reason, for safety. So it's really interesting that they are rebooting it for the generation that probably wanted to be on it as a kid. Now they can do it. But other than that, that's kind of where my intrigue stops.
Well, if it's on Paramount Plus, I have that service, so I might watch it that way. Do we know like when it's coming out, or was this just like a hey, we're going to develop this sort of statement?
They were saying, hey, we're going to be making this, but also so that people could audition.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That's pretty essential. Well, very cool. Legends of the Hidden Temple. Next up, do we want to talk about John Cena? Is there much to say?
No, we don't need to talk about that, man.
That's pretty much it, really.
Yeah. John Cena accidentally referred to Taiwan as a country. China doesn't like when people do that. This podcast is about to get pulled from China as well. Sorry, all our listeners in mainland China right now.
No, fuck that shit. I've got a friend from Taiwan. It's totally a country.
Yeah.
But China does not recognize it as such and asserts that Taiwan is under its control. And so John Cena apologized to the Chinese population, just in general. Hey, sorry, I said this offensive
Chinese,
thing.
No less.
Well, Mandarin. Okay.
Sure.
Let's be specific. We're trying not to piss them off, Jeff, remember? So, that's about it. It was just kind of a bad vibe of just...
I mean, while we're getting banned from countries, why not Israel? Recently there was
similar with Mark Ruffalo, right?
No, actually, recently there was this tweet where Israel made up their own superhero. The tweet, quote, introducing a new Israeli superhero, Iron Dome, protector/defender of Israel. We love it. #Iron Dome 10. And it's just
what?
And it's
you didn't see this? This was in here.
Isn't the Iron Dome the name of their missile defense shield?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I know I come
Israel
from a country who has a superhero named Captain
genocide
Country.
on the Palestinians, and they're making a superhero about their genocide, I guess. Anyways,
to keep him from getting any criticism, of course, the character has a huge Star of David on his chest.
Save Palestine. Palestine is Israel is the aggressor and needs to be stopped. Yeah.
Yes. Big ooftas all around on the Iron Dome. Like, again, we come from a country where it's like we have a guy named Captain America, so not every creative decision is perfect here for sure.
But also, I feel like the whole thing with Captain America that's kind of shifted, right? Is like when he was conceived. Sure, but like the more recent ways that Captain America has been used is like he's very a lot of times like anti-American government kind of thing, you know what I mean? Especially like in like the MCU and stuff like that. He's very like, no, let's do the right thing despite
but also he's Captain America,
says.
not Captain Fat Boy or Captain
we
bombed the fuck out of Hiroshima.
Also true, yeah.
Captain Oppenheimer. Okay, so
Lord.
Going further down the list here, we've got there's just a lot of little stuff. We have there were some explicit updates on the Portal movie by J.J. Abrams that was announced back in I feel like 2011.
If it's anything like how he handled Star Wars.
There's
but at least there's not like a ton of like I mean like obviously there is lore in Portal, but starting off with an adaptation like I J.J. Abrams can make one movie competently. It's just when they put him in charge of something that has to turn into 3 movies, it's just like you probably should have thought about that a little bit more beforehand.
No, I fully place the blame on the trajectory of Star Wars as a franchise on the producers. I think he made a not good movie for sure. It was Rise of Skywalker, in my opinion, did not enjoy the film. However, I don't think Portal has that need to, cap off a franchise quite like that. It just needs to be a good movie. He can make a good movie. So we'll see. But also Portal is, I don't know. I remember when they announced this like 10 years ago, I was just like, I feel like this is one of those games that's better as a game. I hope someone can prove me wrong. But it is so central to gaming culture, especially
since like, not that there isn't good story stuff in Portal, but the whole story and the entire game of Portal is written just entirely around a neat video game mechanic, right? So it's like,
Yeah, and you get, you like, the Cave Johnson stuff in Portal 2, I think could be extrapolated into a pretty like solid drama story and fun sci-fi thing, but that also doesn't involve using the portal gun. So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it's all still, we know literally nothing. So these are just off the cuff feelings. I do have a thing that I want to jump into real fast, which is Sonic the Hedgehog's 30th anniversary is this month, and they had an event trying to say, hey, it's his 30th anniversary, and
the script got leaked because of copyright, thanks to the U.S. government.
Yeah, I've tried to avoid it because I don't want to see.
I still haven't seen the first Sonic actually.
First, it's fun. The first one made me excited to see one that was a little more well put together narratively, but it is a fun little movie, and Jim Carrey's great. That said, the 30th anniversary thing, we have not gotten a Sonic the Hedgehog video game proper since the year 2017, and we got the 2 games, Sonic Mania, which is a callback to the originals, and Sonic Forces, which was not a callback to the originals. One of those was good, and one of those was bad. That's just the consensus. I'm oversimplifying. Anyway, it's his 30th anniversary, so you'd think they'd do something big. No, they're not. Nothing big is happening. They are re-releasing a Nintendo Wii game onto other consoles in September, and they said that they've got a new game coming next year, and showed us
Sonic running.
They showed us the feat of young classic Sonic running.
Whoop-de-doo.
Which is not surprising. There were some little digital visual effects.
In this game, he runs, guys.
Wild.
So it's been a really long time with no updates, and like all the development of Sonic as a brand has happened on Twitter. So I was just like, hey, can I get a fun video game? And Sega said no, not yet. So we'll fucking see, I guess. Goddamn, what else? Ooh, Chowder, did you
we
see
got
the link?
we got a trailer for Eternals, our first teaser trailer.
Yay.
I was honestly excited.
There's not really enough in it yet for us to like say whether it looks good or not, but
I will say this.
Not much really say other than it exists. Yeah.
Have you guys seen, I'm about to sound a lot more pretentious than I usually do. Have you guys seen Nomadland?
Nope. And I knew you were going to ask me that because I've said no the last 2 times you've asked me that on this podcast.
I mean, as you could probably guess by the reviews and the awards, but it's an excellent movie. And the weird thing about Nomadland is that, like, it doesn't have a very strong plot. It is following characters through events. And it is just a gorgeous movie to look at. It is wonderfully handled from writing to performance. There were only 2 major actors in it. Everyone else essentially played a fictionalized version of themselves. And it was just a great movie. And watching the Eternals trailer, it's directed by the person who wrote and directed Nomadland. Essentially, even though there was not a lot of story stuff in this, that visual style was there. That sense of, I'm going to make the world look big and the people look small. I'm going to rely on natural lighting as much as possible. And she's gone on record in interviews saying, like, this is a Marvel movie with, like, substantially little green screen compared to the others. We got so much in-camera stuff. And if it's anything like what she did with Nomadland, I'm very excited to see it. And I think this movie is already delivering on being a different kind of movie, if they let her do what she wanted to do, that is.
Can we also just fucking talk about... And I don't have anything substantial to say about this, but one of the characters' names is Cersei, and there's also fucking 2 Game of Thrones actors in here. And I think that they're supposed to be, like, opposing love interests of her, and I'm just like, is that just a coincidence? Or...
No, someone's having fun.
I love that.
Disney's flexing.
It looks, too much fun. I mean, granted, I think it was just a teaser that we got. Like, I'm not all that excited for a lot of the movies that they're doing, like, coming up. I'm excited for Shang-Chi, and then I'm kind of excited for Eternals, but, like, at this point, I'm just waiting for Blade. It's more just, like, they don't really have to sell me anymore anyway, but...
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I think Eternals, of the 4 movies coming out this year, Eternals is the one for which I'm most excited, particularly because it's I mean, like, I think any hope for individual flair or style in the MCU sort of died when Edgar Wright got fired from Ant-Man. But this
I feel like they've made some, like, I feel like some of the ones that they've been planning at least have sort of promised to do that a bit more, you know? Because, like, supposedly, like, the next Doctor Strange is going to be kind of like a horror movie, right? And that will already be, like, a drastic genre departure.
Yeah, it seems like they're willing to go further. Coupling that with the fact that what I've seen in the Eternals trailer does so closely match and it's the only movie by Chloe Zhao I've seen. But, like, the fact that it does have such a similar vibe already is encouraging that we might get something different. And it's why, even though Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like, has some, like, structural and narrative shortcomings for sure, it's still maybe the Marvel thing that stood out to me most lately, because it's like, hey, they're actually saying something different than all the other fucking movies, and I want not the same thing. And Eternals, actually, of the next 4 movies coming out in 2021, seems to me to be the biggest promise, Carrie, for maybe doing that. But that's just those are my feelings.
So something I wanted to talk about was the death of Kentaro Miura, who died on May 6, 2021. He was the creator of Berserk, the manga Berserk, which is incredibly influential. Like, a lot of, like, dark fantasy and a lot of just manga and anime in general is influenced by... You want to know why so many anime protagonists have big fuck-off swords? It's because Berserk was, like, super popular, and the main character of Berserk had a gigantic fucking sword. And, a lot of dark fantasy is influenced by, like, the Castlevania Netflix series, Dark Souls, let's see, Attack on Titan. A lot of stuff takes its cues from Berserk. And I think what's very important to note is how he died. He died of an acute aortic dissection, which is...
Those come out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, and those are induced by stress, because he died at the age of 54, and...
oh, wow.
Yeah. And he was known to be a huge workaholic. Like, if you look at the artwork in Berserk, it's fucking detailed, like, down to the pixel, and it's... I think it's there's a lesson to be learned about like how creators are treated in like manga and anime, and really just
it's really
anywhere.
tough in Japan to do manga and anime. It's a very thankless job.
Yeah,
a lot of overworking.
Yeah, no, a ton of overworking, and it's going, and I guess the cautionary tale is do not put your art over your own health. You're gonna die young, because 54 is pretty young, no?
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, if there are no other stories that we'd like to bring up or important
hey, listen,
notes
I did say that
forward.
a lot of our headlines were stupid, so I would at least like to read some more stupid headlines, even if we don't talk about them.
Yes.
Let's lightning round. Jeff, why don't you hit some of those quick headlines? We are not going to discuss them. We can laugh or say that's fucking stupid. That's pretty much it.
Dan Harmon making the first blockchain animated series. Pretty fucking stupid.
I still don't know what it means.
No, yeah. We've got. I'm just fucking scrolling up here. There was another good one. Oh, Kevin Spacey will play a fucking sex crime detective. What the fuck, guys?
Who let that happen?
Jocelyn, what was the one you got?
Universally reportedly wants a Fast and the Furious and Jurassic World crossover.
Oh my god.
Yes, please.
I listened to a podcast called Story Break where they try to figure out movie ideas. They figured out Fast and Furious in space before they made that movie, and literally 3 weeks ago tried to come up with a movie concept for Jurassic World crossing over with Fast and Furious. So those boys are onto something.
Man, all I'm gonna fucking say about that is like, once you fucking introduce dinosaurs into your goddamn cinematic universe, you can't go back, right? Like the last Jurassic World ended with with dinosaurs all over the fucking earth, right? So if they want to put dinosaurs in Fast and Furious, there better be fucking dinosaurs in every subsequent Fast and Furious, or a damn good explanation for why there's not. Otherwise, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
All right, Chowder, why don't you hit us with those Kickstarters, and then we'll kick it to the ratings.
All right, first one is Booza Volume 3. It's a urban fantasy web comic that they're putting into like a book format so that you can read it as a PDF or as a physical thing. And it's made by Jocelyn Khan, and I've started reading it, and I'm a few chapters in, and it's really fucking good. Like, gorgeous art, incredible world building. It's very good. I highly recommend it. This project is already backed. It made its goal on the first day, so now it's just getting more. Right now, it is at 23,450. It was asking for 14,000. And it has rewards that are like get the first two volumes, so that it's a good deal, I think. And the other one is, I think I might have X'd out of that. So that's the only Kickstarter I'm talking about.
Fuck them, I guess.
That's about the energy we've had this whole time. All right, so those are the stories we collected.
Every fucking creator of a small running Kickstarter was listening to that on the edge of their seat and is so convinced that it was theirs that Chowder just X'd out of by accident.
So we're going to move on to our rating section now. So this is the part where we, as a group of journalists, a group of editors, come together and we try to decide what is the most important, impactful, or interesting story that geeks should be paying attention to from the month of May 2021. Kevin Spacey playing a sex crime detective is definitely top tier for me.
Say that again?
That was a joke. That's a very bad thing that people shouldn't be watching.
I just didn't hear what you fucking said.
Oh, the Kevin Spacey
thing.
thing. Yes, very bad. I honestly have nothing this month that really jumped out to me as something I super duper care about. So
Dark
if you guys want to
and cringy
nominate
reboots
something,
shouldn't happen, and we should stop making cringy dark reboots. That's my thought.
I guess
for me, I guess for me, I'd vote for the death of Kentaro Miura because, again, very influential death.
If I'm looking at like the things of all the new announcements and stuff that I'm excited for, I think that the one that I'm the most excited for is probably that Superman animated series, if it does end up happening. Yeah. But that is a very different motivation than
Yeah. Jocelyn, you got any ideas beyond don't do cringy reboots?
I mean, I'm excited for the Batman thing. I have a feeling we'll actually get to see it, which is good. Or not Batman, Superman. Sorry. It's been a day.
Yeah.
And it's only gonna get longer for me. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm willing to put my vote in for Superman as well.
All right. Well, that's 3 for Superman, and me really having no opinions. But I'm happy that you guys are excited for Superman. So what is the name of the show again?
Let me just pull that up real quick. It is called My Adventures with Superman.
All right. When do we know when that's coming out?
With Superman.
Let's see. I don't think the article says no.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye out for that. I'm sure one of us will be sure to drop an update on the show. But My Adventures with Superman, the announcement of that show, that is probably the most interesting thing to come out of May, and we're going to keep an eye on it going forward. So that's going to wrap it up. In 2 weeks, we'll be back with a regular-ass book club style episode. But for now, I have been Colin Ketchen. You can find me, it's comicgeekingprogram.com. I do a lot of stuff. I learned how to do some little animation things this past month that I haven't shared publicly yet, but I shared it with some patrons for Dice Populi. Jocelyn, I think I ran it by you, and you described it as good nightmare fuel. So... So that's been fun. So we'll see how that goes. Who else have I been joined by?
Oh, I've been Jeff Leavitt. I've got a YouTube channel where I do toy reviews that's called Alchemist Prime Reviews. And I also have an Instagram that I once upon a time put art stuff up on and have not in like over a year. But maybe one day I will again. And that's things I wish existed, and there's a dot between each word. Yeah, that's my bit.
I've been Timul Chaudhry, or Chowder, whichever you prefer. You can find me on Twitter at Timul Chowder.
And I'm Jocelyn Barkenhagen. You can find me on the internet. Just search for me. It's not a popular name. But
we had a pretty in-depth conversation about this, the actual statistical popularity of your name, and it's pretty down there.
More importantly, watch Mau Mau Heroes of Pure Heart on HBO Max. Most importantly. Also, Tigtone in the series if you want nightmare fuel akin to Colin's projects. But yeah, mostly watch Mau Mau Heroes of Pure Heart on HBO Max.
So before we go, I do want to do one tiny last thing before we wrap it up, nice and quick. June is typically a big month for geeky news. I just want to end, giving a little tease for our next briefing program. Is there a piece of news you're hoping for in the next month or that you're excited for coming up?
Let's see.
God, you should really ask me this before you say it, so I have time to think about it.
I mean, there's a Nintendo Direct coming up, and, I'm hoping they'll at least bring up Breath of the Wild 2 or Metroid Prime.
Oh, hey, we got a release date this month for the new Pokemon game, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I'm just excited for all the Pride pandering. Happy Pride, everyone.
It's profile pictures are clearly the best way to support social causes. Jeff, is there anything over the next month that you're excited to see?
Well, I mean, I'm always most excited to see more like Transformers reveals and stuff like that, but that kind of just ends up being a steady flow. I don't think there's much of a big event that's happening in June, but...
Well, in June, we're going to be getting E3, so games. I'm going to have a lot of games news next month for sure. But at long last, we should be getting some information about Halo Infinite that doesn't involve Craig the Brute. So I'm very, very hyped to see what the hell's going to happen there.
Yeah, let's fucking get on to June, get all the good June news, get all the stupid May news out. You know, like, there was a lot of dumb shit in May, and I only have one thing to say to it. MoveOn.org.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye.
Oh my god. Bye.
You dirty little fucker, Jeff. You bastard. You absolute monster.
That's what they call me.